and just, you're out there, you know what it's like, or if you're safe at home and dreading the fact that you're going to shovel, I'm sorry, but there it is.
We're all in the same boat today.
This I find odd. You started me thinking about this probably some years ago, fans petitioning to get something done in movies or, TV shows, or, we're going to start a petition and we're going to, Black Panther fans have spoken. They say that Chadwick Boseman's beloved character should be recast going forward. And the man's own brother, Derek Boseman, says, yes, I agree with that. He does think that T'Challa needs to live on in the Black Panther franchise, and if that means tapping another actor to play the King of Wakanda, the role that Chadwick made famous and legendary, then so be it.
I agree, because this character is too important to the Marvel Universe. Yeah. And that's my motivation there. He did play it better than anybody. I feel bad for the actor who would take that role after
Bill
Chadwick.
Cosby's out of jail.
But I do agree with his brother there.
O.J. Simpson's parole has ended early. And according to his attorney, he is now a completely free man. A spokesperson for the Nevada State Police confirmed to TMZ Sports that Simpson was, in fact, discharged from parole earlier this month. Now, you recall, he's not serving time for the fact that he murdered two people viciously.
No, he got away with that.
He's serving time because he broke into a Las Vegas hotel room with a group of men, and two of whom were armed, and to steal some memorabilia from people he said had previously stolen from him. And he was...
I'm just taking it back.
Yeah. He was in jail he was sentenced to 33 years. He spent, I don't know how much, 6 or 7 years, and now he's off parole. He's 74. He served 9 years. He's on parole. The 74-year-old O.J. Simpson, who viciously murdered two people, is a free man, and he's playing a lot of golf in Las Vegas. The novel coronavirus, SARS-CoV-2, it has now killed 800,000 Americans, according to data from Johns Hopkins University.
It'll be gone by spring like a miracle. Easter.
Yeah. A bipartisan group of lawmakers marked the moment with a brief moment of silence on the step of the U.S. Capitol. Thanks. The U.S. surpassed the marker just days after recording 50 million confirmed cases. Both totals lead all other countries. How bad will COVID-19 get in Utah? Well, case counts may finally be headed in the right direction, but the virus's new variant, Omicron, is only getting started, spreading across the United States. If there wasn't this Omicron lurking, I'd be really pretty optimistic, said Dr. Eddie Stenheim. I think that's how you say it. Yeah, Stenheim, an Intermountain Healthcare infectious disease physician. He said, our numbers are going down at the same time we're headed into the winter. Even better, Stenheim said, there's hope that the new variant won't become dominant in the United States until after the holidays in January. A calculation based on Omicron cases doubling in other countries every 2 days. Still, he said Utahns should not lose sight of the damage COVID-19 continues to do, keeping hospital intensive care units filled to capacity, forcing many surgeries to be delayed. Oh, and yeah, killing old people in particular, but, killing a lot of other people as well, because Utah reported 920 new COVID cases on Tuesday, 12 more deaths.
It's the first time we've been down under 1,000 in a while. That's good news.
Yeah, I guess. Pfizer, company that came up with a vaccine and now has a pill that they say may help people who come down with the COVID virus. They announced on Monday that they are going to buy a Utah-based pharmaceuticals company, Arena Pharmaceuticals, for $6.7 billion. Wow. Arena is based in Park City. It's a clinical stage company that develops immunotherapies to treat inflammatory diseases. Mike Gladstone, global president and general manager of Pfizer Inflammation and Immunology. What do you do at Pfizer? Well, I'm the president of Inflammation and Immunology. He said that the acquisition will complement the capabilities and expertise of both companies. Let's see. How about, one of the QAnon believers who stormed the Capitol, who tried to bring down the government of the United States, who threatened to shoot Nancy Pelosi for Donald Trump. He has been, thank God, sentenced to prison. Cleveland Grover... What?
Not Grover
No,
Cleveland?
No. Cleveland Grover Meredith. His mother was dyslexic. Junior is a 53-year-old man from Hayesville, North Carolina, arrested on January 7th after he sent threats about House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and others to a relative from Georgia. The relative contacted Meredith's mother, who said, I'm going to turn my boy into the FBI, and she did. Special agents found Meredith at a Holiday Inn about a mile from the U.S. Capitol. He had a handgun, a rifle, and 2,500 rounds of ammo, and 10 large-capacity ammunition feeding devices inside of his trailer.
For protection.
Now, he's been in jail for 11 months. He'll get credit for time served. But what did they, I don't know what they sentenced him to totally, but he will go to jail for, at least for a while for that. Let's see, finally, here's good news. Good news. It's about bugs. Can you think, I know most people don't care for bugs, but a new study shows that bugs across the planet are evolving to eat plastic.
Good.
Yeah. Microbes in oceans and soils across the globe are evolving to eat plastic. Now, that's what they mean by bugs here, microbes. The research scanned more than 200 million genes found in DNA samples taken from the environment and found 30,000 different enzymes that could degrade 10 different types of plastic. The study is first large-scale assessment of plastic degrading potential of bacteria. This is interesting because, Mother Earth, Gaia, where we reside here, that we treat with such disrespect. We treat the Earth with such disrespect, but the Earth don't care. It doesn't care. And when we are all gone, the Earth will replenish itself, renew itself, and this is one of the ways it's doing it. All right, that's it.
Weather traffic.
Brought to you by Get to Strong Volkswagen during the Sign and Drive event. All you need is a signature, plus you get a lifetime warranty, no charge. See details. Unlock stronger pricing at strongvw.com. Well, gosh, it looks like it's clearing up, at least downtown Salt Lake here.
When I finally got out of the driveway and was driving down here, it had stopped snowing pretty much.
But still lots of snow already on the ground, and UDOT still saying, please don't drive if you don't have to. We're trying to get things cleaned up. Power lines are down. Part of 30th East and Cottonwoods Highs closed for an undetermined amount of time while crews are attempting to reach the area to make necessary repairs. Also heard about some power outages in Ogden and Tooele. And your schools, I'm sure most of you have heard from your kids' schools already. Some of them are online learning. Some of them are late starting, including the University of Utah for folks up there. They are just planning on going at 8 a.m., but asking maybe if faculty would move their tests online if possible. Check with the alert.utah.edu website for University of Utah information. And too many road issues to tell you about specifically. Just know that the plows are out and getting things cleaned up. But if you could avoid being out on the roads still for a while. Now, this alert weather advisory goes away at 11 o'clock this morning, and it like we said, already looks like it's clearing up. But we do have a storm coming back this evening into tomorrow. 80% chance of snow overnight tonight, so we could see another messy commute tomorrow morning. But your commute home tonight looks like it should be good if you ever decide to leave the house today. I say stay home, shovel your walk. That can be your workout for the day. The kids are home. That's traffic.
Well, if the kids are home, maybe you don't want to stay home.
Or send the kids out to shovel.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. All right, here's boner candidate number 3. We got over $500,000 from the feds, so we're going to raise the rent on this dump. This is a story that was in the Salt Lake Tribune, done by Eric Peterson and Stephen Dark. Septic sludge, which would be a good band name.
Oh, yeah.
Used to drip from the ceiling into Jeremy Arrieta's apartment when he lived at Solera Apartments in Salt Lake, West Side. A video he took from the summer of 2020 shows dark beads of feces-tinged water leaking through the bathroom ceiling above. Worst apartment I have ever lived in, an exasperated Arrieta can be heard saying on the video. Interviewed recently about his experience, he said the apartment's problems went far beyond just plumbing. A fatal shooting the previous winter on the grounds outside meant he mainly stayed inside, where he only had to contend with cockroaches. He broke his lease a year ago. He's facing a debt collection lawsuit from Solara attorneys, in the office of Senator Kurt Cullimore, a Republican from Sandy, where most evictions go. And so Eric Peterson, they all go, and they will go look at it, Utah Investigative Journalism. Mm-hmm. They sent reporters to look at it. Residents pointed out shoddy stairs, strange smells, noted stairwells where individuals experiencing homelessness would camp out at night, missing windows covered with cardboard all across the compound. The apartments were in bad shape. And I should also tell you that this company, Solara, which is not based here, I think it's in California, received some $600,000 from the federal government to cover rents, the rent assistance program. Mm-hmm. $600 and some $1,000, and then they said, oh, by the way, we're raising your rent. Jeez. got over $500,000 from the feds, so we're going to raise your rent on these dumps. Really? That's boner candidate number 3.
All right, let's review the first 2 and vote.
Boner candidate number 1. Boys, you got to beware of them LDS gals. A Utah State University police chief telling football players on the team up there, the Aggies, to beware of sex with LDS women because they may claim it wasn't consensual. Boner candidate number 2. Puppy scam. Holidays ruined for a woman who lost $4,800, $4,000 or $4,800, I think it was, in a scam when she was trying to buy a Doberman puppy online. And boner candidate number 3. Oh, and it says we got over $500,000 from the feds, so we're going to raise the rent on these dumps. I did point out that Eric Peterson.
Yes, you did.
All right, that's it.
You've got to decide now of these 3 candidates, which one is the worst, which one should go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day. We'll explain all that boner of the day stuff later. Just right now, know that this is not boner of the day. This is round 1. You're sending this candidate forward to boner fight to get a chance to become boner of the day. 1, 2, or 3. Remember your candidate number, the one that you think should win. Put that single digit in the message of a text and then text that to 33986. Our phone lines are fixed, 877-602-9696. Or go online, x96.com. Look for the box that says Boner Voting, December 15, 2021. Vote there. And if you don't see that box, refresh your browser. It should appear. You have 240 seconds to get your vote in. This is round 1. RandLife.com.
Rand Life, a local mortgage company, and I have dealt with them on 2 separate occasions, both times to refinance my mortgage for a better rate and save a lot of money. And they do a really nice job with that. They're fast, they're efficient, they take care of things, and you almost. The first time I got a mortgage, it was hell. It was paper after paper. But they take care of everything. It's streamlined, and they have this thing called the Customer for Life program. If you are a return customer, you get to be a customer for life, and then you get big discounts on things. Well, they're going to offer that to you as a first-time customer. All you have to do is go to randlife.com/x96 for this offer. Be a customer for life with Rand Life. Go randlife.com/x96. You fill out a form there, which does not obligate you to anything. You fill out the form, and you'll be a customer for life if you decide to go with Rand Life.
Let's join Carrie and Bill at the Acme Broadcasting Company party at Rockport Reservoir.
What a nice day for a company party, huh?
Oh, God, yes. I mean, it's just beautiful up here. And we deserve this, don't we?
I think that everybody on the staff deserves a nice party like this. I mean, we've all worked so hard to get this station to show in the ratings.
Yeah. Showing up in the top 35 stations ain't that easy either.
No.
Hey, look at everybody down there on the beach by the picnic table. You know, we ought to hike down there.
No, we can get a much better shot at all of them with our paintball guns from up here.
Huh.
Now look at Mario there. I'll bet you I can knock that beer right out of his hand.
Good shot. hey, they can't see us up here, can they?
Well, apparently not. Hey, listen, see if you can splatter the side of Bessie with a volley of that green paint you got.
Righto. Just about spelled my name. Hey, they're all starting to scatter and take cover now. What a great party. Hey, see if you can hit Sonny before she makes it to that tree.
Okay. Oh, damn, I missed her. You know, she's so thin, there's not much of a target there. Hey, what's Ed Acme doing?
Well, it looks like he's pushed over the picnic table and he's using it as a barrier. Get out your binoculars.
Got him. Oh, my God. That's a 30-30 he's pulling out of his knapsack. Oh! And it looks like he's got a bead on us, too. That was too close.
Godfrey! Jeez, everybody else seems to be packing heat, too. Look at that. Mario's gunning back at us with some kind of flare gun.
Whoa!
Gee!
All right, Sonny thinks she's going to hit us clear up here with that little pistol of hers.
Oh!
Oh, but Acme's really got us pinned down with that thing.
Well, then I guess it's a good thing I brought this to the company party, isn't it?
Oh, an Uzi.
Yeah.
Bill, you the man. Oh, God, what a great party.
Okay, it is 7:48. Now, before we award round one of your boner, we need to remind you that Dr. Cobble is on the phone right now, taking your questions about the vaccine, about COVID, about Omicron, about all that stuff. He's here. He's a doctor. He can talk to you and answer your questions. 877-602-9696. Our phone lines are fixed. So 877-602-9696.
By the way, the phone lines are fixed. I would like to thank management, whoever was in charge of doing that, of getting that fixed. Thank you. Thank you for providing the phone lines that we so desperately needed.
You can text your questions in, but we prefer your phone calls. Text at 33986. Phone number 877-602-9696. All right, round one of your boners.
It's brought to you in part by leftovers.
And the key to good sex is good communication. Reveal your best pleasure at Black Velvet Boutique, Utah's locally owned by women sexual wellness resource, open 7 days a week, 595 South State in Clearfield.
Well, this is interesting. By the way, Jay won the prize that we were giving away to a random voter.
The boner T-shirt.
This is kind of a surprise. Number one, boys, you got to beware of them LDS gals. The police chief telling the football team at USU that, LDS women, if you have sex with them, you'll think it's consensual, and then they'll rat you out. They'll change their minds because they feel guilty. I thought that would really, really do well.
I did too. It didn't.
Boner candidate number two, puppy scam. This is a story involving a sad woman at Christmas who lost, $4,800, and she just wanted a little puppy. I thought that would do pretty well. And boner candidate number three, really another strong candidate. We got over $500,000 from the feds, so we're going to raise the rent on this dump. Apparently, people hate slumlords.
Yeah.
Is that really beat out the...
Number one got, the USU police chief got 40 votes. Number three, the apartments, 115 votes. Winner round one.
Wow. Okay. Well, you choose them, we don't. That's round one of your boners winner. It goes forward to boner fight. It might be boner of the day. Round two happens at 8:20. 3 more candidates. Another winner there. Send that one forward as well. They will both face off in the Boner Dome. Boner fight happens at 9:20 this morning. That's when you decide boner of the day. Is this a sponsored feature, Gina?
Yes, get to Strong Volkswagen during the Sign and Drive event. All you need is a signature, plus you get a lifetime warranty, no charge. Get details and unlock stronger pricing at strongvw.com.
Now it's time to talk to Dr. Michael Cobble. He is a physician here in town with... Dr. Cobble, what's the name of your practice? I go there all the time, but what's the name of your practice?
Canyons Medical Center.
Canyons Medical Center. For some reason I was going to say Alpine. I don't know. Canyons Medical Center, Dr. Michael Cobble. And Dr. Cobble, I can personally attest, is a wonderful physician, but he really knows his stuff about the COVID, too. I'd like to sort of start with this email that I got a few days ago for you, Dr. Cobble. It says, Dr. Kabul? Dr. Cowbell? Whatever you say, however you say it, he's the best. Then it says, it is very nice. It says, I miss out on the opportunity to ask questions while he's on, but I'd like to know if there are any dangers if you get the booster before the 6-month recommendation, and is it allowed?
There's nothing dangerous about that. It was not studied that way. The pharmacy or the county health department would probably not allow it just because the current guideline is 6 months.
Yeah.
So if they looked at your vaccine paper and they'd turn you away if it was before 6 months.
Okay.
Unless it's Johnson & Johnson, and that's 2 months.
Oh, okay. All right. So now, do we have phone calls for Dr. Cobble?
We do not. People are grown used to the fact that we have...
we only have one line.
We got our phone lines open.
And we got people driving, and maybe that's difficult.
877-602-9696. If you have a question for Dr. Crabapple, is somebody who's texted.
It's become a contest now to figure out how the worst way to spell your name. Their question is, can testing tell the difference in the antibodies between having COVID and the vaccine?
No.
Okay.
Well, that was easy.
I have a question of my own. And again, the phone number, 877-602-9696 for Dr. Cobble. If you get sick with COVID, and you're particularly older people, when it's so dangerous for older people, they say you should get monoclonal antibody treatment. How do you do that, and who does it, and do you have to pay for it, or what's the situation with that?
I think most insurances will probably cover it. You have to get it at one of the hospital facilities. So one of the outdoor MASH units, or it's a transfusion center. Your oxygen level has to be above 90% to get the monoclonal antibody and sick enough to consider hospitalization. If your oxygen is under 90%, you have to go in the hospital and get remdesivir, the antiviral transfusion, which is 3 days in a row. Where the 2 monoclonal antibodies, you get that one treatment at one of the MASH units. So I think almost every hospital facility has that. You probably call them directly or go to the emergency room or the urgent care, and they would direct you.
How effective is it? I'm just curious.
Oh, remarkably effective. I mean, the monoclonal antibodies in the 80-90% range, so they're nearly as effective as a vaccine. It's just the problem is you've gotten really sick. So the vaccine would make more sense preventively. And then, of course, there are the 2 new oral antiviral drugs that probably will be approved by the FDA shortly. The one by Merck, the molnupiravir, which is approved in the UK currently, and then one by Pfizer, which is Paxlovid. And those are about $700. You have to start those within 3 days of illness. They were not used for hospitalized patients, and they did not think they would help hospitalized patients. You have to take 30 to 40 pills over the 5 days, and those are about $700 or $800, and I'm not sure how much insurance will cover on those.
All right.
So don't count on that as being the thing that's going to...
Because the vaccine is free.
Get the vaccine.
All right. Hang on, Doc.
I think
what?
It'll be interesting to see if conspiracies arise about those pills.
Oh, I'm sure they
will.
Sure, yeah.
Because they wouldn't take the
HIV drug, so...
If they wouldn't take the vaccine, they're certainly not going to take the pill. Let's see, Tristan, hang on the phone. We'll get to your phone call. We have another line open for you, 877-602-9696. And we will catch you up with Dr. Cobble after these.
So things getting a little better. We still have massive slowage, as you might expect from from the snow. I'm not going to tell you about specific accidents, and UDOT's still asking you to stay home if possible. But be assured, plows are out. You can actually go to the slc.gov website and actually see when the plows are in your neighborhood or when they're scheduled to be in your neighborhood if you're curious about that. But if you see something and it's safe for you to text us, you can always do that at 33986. The 2022 Sundance Film Festival is coming January 20th through the 30th, online and in person. Explore the lineup of world premiere films, virtual reality, conversations, and more at festival.sundance.org.
All right, more with Dr. Cobble after this. Get your questions about vaccines and COVID and all of that ready for him. And we will talk to him after these. BigOTires.com.
You know they are the team you trust. They certainly are the team I trust, so take it from me. You can trust them.
You needed them today. I bet you were out and saying, I've been meaning to get new tires. I got new tires about 6 months ago, and when I left this morning, I felt confident that they were going to get me to work on time and safely, and you should get new ones, too.
If I could afford it, I'd go to Big O Tires every 6 months and get new tires, but I can't afford that. Big O wants to make sure that you and your family are safe on the roads this year, so stop by for Big O winter tires, or they have other brands as well, and find out which tires would be the best ones for your life. And you're saving your life as well. Big O, of course, more than just tires. You can come in for brakes, alignments, oil changes, fluid, battery, and more. You can make an appointment online at Big O, which is really convenient. You just go to their website, and there's a way to schedule an appointment at your local Big O tire stores. Go to bigotires.com. They are the team you trust.
Condom. Spell it with me now. C-O-N-D-O-M. And now let's use it in some dialogue featuring those two Utah guys, LeVar and LeGrand. We join LeVar and LeGrand as they split a hot fudge sundae and have some postum down to the Snell Groves. Remember, the word of the day is condom.
Oh, ma'am, this is really some good hot fudge. Nobody does fudge like Snell Groves, don't you think, LeVar?
Yeah, I suppose.
Oh, and they make a mean cup of postum, don't they?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, of course, Leatherby's is pretty good, too. Like you. Well, you like the Leatherby's, don't you?
Yeah, whatever.
Well, for heck's sakes, LeVar, what is your problem? You are as closed-mouthed as a clam today.
Oh, it's nothing against you, LeGrand. I'm just worried about my nephew Varnell. I'm afraid he's going to have to get married, and he's just too young.
Why, what did he do? Did he get that little girl he was going with pregnant?
Well, she's knocked up all right, but it ain't Varnell's fault. He don't have no experience with women. He didn't know what he was doing. He's a good boy. Varnell is just a little bit naive in the ways of love and sex. He got her in the family way all right, but he was fooled by that little tramp Chanel. She conned him into it. He didn't want to have sex with her, but she conned him into it with those feminine spells and stuff. She conned him, LeGrand.
Now, settle down, LeVar. I believe you. Same thing happened to me when I married Vernille. She used some kind of evil spell to get me to have sex with her, too. Well, not before we was married, of course. But she uses them spells on me now. For heck's sakes, I don't want to have sex with the woman, but somehow she gets me to rise to the deed.
Well, that's what happened with Varnell. I mean, that temptress conned him into the sex deed. I told him this would have been avoided if he'd just wore one of them little rubber things on the end of his tallywhacker. What do you call them things?
I just call them rubbers.
Well, if he'd have had on a rubber, she wouldn't have gotten pregnant, even if he weakened when she conned him into sex. Now, he's not going to be able to open that lawnmower and knife sharpening business he's dreamed of. His life is just over.
Oh, now have some more post 'em, LeVar.
But Gina,
It's that magical time of year again.
It's the X Days of Xmas, and the X96 Elves have your chance to win a gift card to Alpine Plastic Surgery, where professionals in breast enhancement, facial rejuvenation, and body contouring. Find out more about Alpine Plastic Surgery at alpineplasticsurgery.com. I'm going to give you a keyword, and you'll text it to 33986 for your chance to win. The keyword is Alpine, A-L-P-I-N-E, Alpine. Text it to 33986 for your chance to win.
Okay, thank you very much. The X Days of Xmas.
Merry Christmas, movie house!
All right. Let's continue our questions for Dr. Cobble.
Merry Christmas, you wonderful Billy alone!
Sorry.
Do we have some phone calls,
We
Gary?
do. We have a couple of calls. Let me get the interface up here. And
877-602-9696 is the number if you mind to call and ask Dr. Cobble a question.
we'll go to Stephen.
Hey, Stephen.
Hi, Stephen.
Hey.
What's your question?
My question is, if there are 3 different vaccines out there that we can go take, how come there aren't 3 different boosters?
It's a good question.
All right.
Well, I think there are 3 different boosters.
Yeah.
There's a booster for the Johnson & Johnson, there's a booster for Pfizer, and a booster for Moderna. I'm not sure if I understood the question correctly.
Did you think that there weren't 3 boosters, Stephen?
Yeah, I thought it was just you went in and you just got a booster. So,
a
you're
generic
supposed to get-
a generic booster is what you're saying?
You get the one that goes
Yeah.
with your vaccination.
with
Okay.
your vaccine. Oh, okay.
Which
All right.
says to me, Stephen, you haven't gotten your booster
Thank you.
yet. So you
No, I
better
haven't, not yet.
get on that.
Go do it.
I will.
All
I
right.
will.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Let's go to Karen. Hi, Karen.
Good morning. Karen is fully vaccinated and boosted up.
Good.
Congratulations.
My question is, where do we find the information or the statistics, I guess, on how many cases in Utah are COVID-19 and how many are of the variant?
Of
Where do we find that
Omicron?
information?
Yeah, they haven't been reporting that yet. You can go to the Utah website, or KSL is a pretty good spot to go look, but they have not given out the percent of Omicron variants. I would suspect it's very low, probably less than 5%. But like Delta, it'll blossom dramatically, so it wouldn't shock me if in a month we've got 50% plus being Omicron.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Isn't that good news?
Yeah.
See you later, Karen.
Omicron is spreading
Thank you.
rapidly. It's just, it's going to balloon and.
877-602-9696. That's the number to call and ask Dr. Cobble a question. Do we have any text questions here? With people are doing the contest.
I've got a question for Dr. Cobble. I'm going to be traveling for...
Pardon me. What's your name, ma'am?
Gina from Salt Lake.
Okay, thank you. Now go ahead and ask your
First-time
question.
caller, long-time listener.
Ask your question.
I'm going to be traveling for Christmas. A lot of people doing that, also gathering for Christmas parties and things. Do you have just some general, here's some good practices for the holidays to keep yourself and your family safe?
Yeah, I think if you're going to congregate with people, you should be around people that are vaccinated. And I think if you're going to be in unventilated spaces for any length of time, I would make sure you wear a mask probably all the time. At this point, about 40% of people spreading COVID may be asymptomatic. So they could be laughing and singing and hugging and kissing and having a great time. And then 3 days later, 20 people at the party are sick and 2 of them may be hospitalized. Mm-hmm. So I think if you just assume that anyone you come in contact with could be contagious, then I would, protect yourself in that way. So mask is important, and I think most of the people here have been vaccinated. So that's a good start, and that's going to keep you out of the hospital, but it may not keep you from catching it or spreading it to other people.
What's really good news is my family. They're all very dour. They don't sing. They don't laugh. They don't hug each other. They just sit around and scowl. So
that's safer. That's a safer way to go about it.
It's a lot safer, I think.
Let's go to Jill. Hi, Jill.
Hi. Thanks for taking my call.
No problem. Go ahead.
Dr. Cobble, I have a question about the booster. My son is 22 years old, had the Pfizer vaccine originally, and he did great with the first initial inoculation, but the second one that he had, all of his lymph nodes swelled up in his back and underneath his armpits, and so he's afraid to get the booster. Do you think what's your opinion on that?
Well, the second vaccine appeared to have the most symptoms in the mRNA, so Pfizer, Moderna. The third did not, and when I had my third vaccine, I didn't have any symptoms at all. So I think that the lymph node reaction he had is common, and I would doubt that he would have it with the third vaccine. So I think that, the body just recognized he'd had the first one, and the second one, it responded even more aggressively. But I'd be really shocked if he had the same lymph node reaction with the third. It's not a contraindication to getting the booster. So while there's some fear there, you can treat the lymph nodes easily with ibuprofen, Aleve, Tylenol, that kind of thing. And usually they just bother people for 2, 3, 4 days. But I'll be shocked if he has that with the booster.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate your help.
There you go.
And swollen lymph nodes, better than COVID.
Yeah.
So have swollen. I said that to people that are like, oh, I felt so crappy after the vaccine. It's for a day or two.
I don't feel normal unless I have at least one swollen lymph node all the time.
Let's see. We're waiting for. I guess they changed their mind. We had a call coming in.
Here's a text question. Kids 12 and 14. My kids 12 and 14, both vaccinated in September. We have a cruise planned for January. Would it be possible to take them in ear? What is that?
Early to get their booster shot.
Early to get their booster shots.
Well, and the booster just got approved for 16 and over, so the booster is not yet approved for people under 16.
So there you go.
So two things. They're not old enough for the booster, and second one, it'll be 6 months once it is approved. So the mask, mask.
Mm-hmm. People are wondering about an update on the timeline for little kids. She's still waiting for our 4-year-old to get a vaccine, and it's not available.
Yeah, I think January, February. I'll be shocked if it's not in that time period, but certainly before spring is out.
Somebody asked the question, and this has been bothering me as well. Is this virus ever going to go away, or is this life for good? I read some really depressing article yesterday about, how we're just going to have to slog along for years and years and years trying to deal with this, and people getting sick and dying, and there's no hope for the future. I would like a medical professional maybe to make a little positive note about that.
You weren't kidding when you talked about your family members.
That's the way we are.
Oh, man. So originally before Delta came around in May, June, we thought that with 70% vaccination rates, we would get what's called herd immunity, and this would become like the common cold by 2024. I think Delta changed that, and Omicron has changed that a little bit. The expectation now is that we're going to have to get over 90% vaccines in the communities to prevent the spread. I still hope that by 2024 that this will become much like the common cold, but it looks like we're going to have to get a flu COVID vaccine once a year for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. So I think, again, just getting vaccinated, getting your booster, and then probably getting an annual vaccine or a semi-annual booster is going to be kind of in the cards for the next 2 to 4 years.
And just stick with it and take the proper steps, and we should be okay for the future.
Yeah, hopefully we see the mortality rate drop with this, like the flu. 0.1% is the flu death rate. Yeah. Currently, depending on where you are in the world, it's 1 to 10% mortality with this. So it's remarkably more dangerous. But now we have some antivirals, pills that'll be available in the next month, and that'll give us an extra opportunity if people catch it and they start that pill within the first 3 days, they can limit the hospitalization and death rate. So that'll be great as well.
Yeah. Dr. Cobble, I'm sorry, but the band is playing you off. Your speech is long enough. Accept your award and go. It's nice talking to you. I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, thanks.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you, doctor. Okay. Traffic, Gene, please.
Yeah, still much slowage out there on the roads, but trust me, the plows are out and they're doing the best they can to get to your area, which is why UDOT is saying, still, if you don't have to be out, don't be out right now. Part of that is you getting stuck on the road and then the plows can't plow it. So best to just stay home if you can. The airport is saying there are delays and issues out there. If you're supposed to fly out today, you probably want to check on your flight. And Trax is saying that their trains are running slow today as well. So everything moving slowly today. This will clear up, though. The winter advisory is only supposed to go until 11 o'clock, and already downtown Salt Lake, I'm seeing blue skies here. So things should be better for your evening commute. Snow again overnight tonight, and we will probably have another snowy morning commute tomorrow. Bill's excited about that. Are you searching for Pokemon? Locally owned Haster Games has the best selection of Pokemon, Dungeons & Dragons, Magic, and more. Shop online at HasterGames.com or visit the store, 6831 South State. Curbside service is available.
All right, Boners Round 2 coming up here, the candidates you will consider. Number 1, do these people think that no one records what they say? Boner candidate number 2, some things are just not forgivable. And boner candidate number 3, I cried for a week.
Boners Round 2, Big Boy News, all coming up after these. Stand by. Stamps.com. Save time and money this holiday season with Stamps.com. I want you to go to Stamps.com and click on the microphone at the top of the page and enter the code JACKSON, JACKSON. And if you sign up with the promo code JACKSON, you're going to get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial, free postage, and a digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. This is terrific if you have a small business and you're mailing a lot of stuff. The post office is a great place, but you just don't want to spend a lot of time there. So if you have an Etsy store, side hustle out of your home, all of that, it's just so much easier to do it with Stamps.com because you can access all the post office and UPS shipping services you need without taking the trip. You get those discounts that you can't find anywhere else, like up to 40% off USPS rates and 76% off UPS rates. And you can arrange for pickup from your house or small business, and it's a no-brainer. So save time and money this holiday season with Stamps.com. Go to Stamps.com, click on that microphone at the top of the page, and enter my last name, JACKSON. Stamps.com.
Well, thanks, Ben. Today's word is krenz. Spell it with me now. K-R-E-N-Z, krenz. And now we'll use it in some dialogue starring as LeVar and LeGrand, our 2 lovable Utah boys. Let's join them now as they eat burgers and watch kids playing at the McDonald's Playland. Again, the word is krenz.
Woo-hoo! Sure is fun to watch them little ones in the ball crawl, ain't it, LeVar?
Sure is. Makes me wish I was a little tyke once again. We didn't have no ball crawls when I was a spud.
Oh, I know. Best we could do was use the rolled-up socks from our sock drawer. Used to throw them in a kiddie pool and then crawl around in them.
I remember.
How's your burger?
Well, pretty good. How about your chicken noogies?
Oh, tasty. Pretty smart way you figured out we could get these Happy Meals. Mm-hmm. They don't like us adults to order them for ourselves.
Damn betcha. Just tell them that your kids have gone over to the Playland and you're ordering up for them. Them high school kids that work behind the counter don't give no rat's butt about it anyhow. They just serve them up.
I think this is the best deal, too, because the Happy Meals always got surprise in them. A couple of months ago, I got a Catwoman core in mine.
Yeah, I was trying to collect all them Jurassic Park Happy Meal stuff. Mm-hmm. I didn't get the sick Triceratops, and I missed the Alan Grant figurine, too. That was when I was in court on that DUI.
I told you to quit drinking. Oh, hey, looky here in my Happy Meal. It's a McDonald's Land coloring book devoted to the adventures of Mayor McCheese. Ooh, boy, this coloring book even comes with a little box of crayons.
Oh, this is a box of crayons? Mm-hmm. I thought these was candies. Crap, I've been eating crayons. You know what? They ain't too bad. Hey, can I die from eating these crayons?
Well, in USA Today, there was a story the other day about how some crayons made in China is full of lead or some kind of radioactive material. I don't remember which. But if it's lead, I know that can cause brain damage.
Well, I hope there ain't no lead in these crayons. I hope they got some radioactive stuff in them instead. Then maybe I won't have to have this tumor operated on. Hey, you gonna eat your crayons?
Help yourself.
.822 right now, and it's time for round 2 of your boner voting. 3 news stories. These are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior. You will decide with your vote of these 3 candidates which one is the worst, which one should go forward to boner fight and get that chance to become boner of the day. Winning here ensures that it will go up against the winner of round 1's voting, and we'll have boner between these 2 winners. So we got to get our second winner here. Round 2, send one of these 3 forward. 2 candidates now, a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, you'll vote. One of you lucky random boner voters will receive.
It's a giant tote bag. You can put all manner of masks in that. So when you go to your holiday gathering, you can pass them out to people.
Here's boner candidate number 1. Do these people think that no one records what they say? This is... well, she's referred to here as extremist representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, Republican from Georgia.
I just call her Marjorie Three Toes.
Her recent claim that she and other Republicans are against hate is thoroughly debunked in a supercut. So she says, I and all the other Republicans, we are against hate. We don't hate Muslims. We are not Islamophobic at all. And, here, let's prove this. This is you got it ready, Carrie?
Yes. Right.
This is Marjorie Taylor Greene in 2 separate speeches.
Okay. Come on now.
I've heard a lot of conversation from my colleagues across the aisle about Islamophobia in America, which we completely or against hate of any kind against anyone.
There is an Islamic invasion into our government offices right now.
The Democrats are now controlled by the Jihad Squad. Ilhan Omar doesn't deserve committees. She can represent radical Islam in the United States Congress. We're going to explain about how you can't swear in on the Quran.
That's Marjorie Taylor Greene. Yeah. I have no idea who this is, this picture that we're showing at x96.com/live.
That's not her. Yeah.
That's not Marjorie Taylor Greene.
I don't know who that is.
I don't have any idea who that is.
Yeah.
A boner candidate number 1, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Here's boner candidate number 2. Some things are just not forgivable. A judge in Louisiana, Michelle Odinette, has asked for forgiveness and understanding. I forgot that part. Understanding. After a video surfaced capturing a series of racist remarks as her family gathered to watch security footage of an attempted burglary at their home. A black man was reportedly arrested in connection with the burglary at the Lafayette City Court judge's home in Bendel Gardens over the weekend. A video that circulated after the incident appeared to show members of the family joking and using the N-word to recap the burglary while they watched the security footage. Odinette, who has 4 children, confirmed to a local news site that the footage was from her home. It's unclear who shot it, who exactly is using the language, and who sent it to several members of the local media. The site also published the video, which contains disturbing, explicit language. At one point, a voice is heard saying, "And mom's yelling, N-word, N-word," to which a woman's voice answered, "We have an N-word. It's an N-word like a roach."
Yeah, so she, and that's who the picture is. That's the judge.
Yeah.
So she's saying there was a lot of drinking going on. I don't know about you guys, but there's no amount of drinking that I could do that would make me talk that way.
No.
That word is not in my head to come out. No. It has to be in there already. It has to be something you use.
There it is. Some things are just not forgivable or understandable, Judge Odinette. Coming up in a moment, boner candidate number 3. I don't even remember what this one is, except it's titled, "I Cried for a Week."
Boner candidate number 3 for round 2. Coming up after this, Big Boy News and Opinioendo, brought to you by.
Give your loved ones smart gifts this holiday. Visit Planet Fun Store at Clark Planetarium for science-themed toys and gifts for all ages. Enjoy 3 floors of free exhibits or take in a show while you're there. Open 7 days a week at the Gateway. Plan your visit at clarkplanetarium.org.
Well, you guys know, and the audience is probably aware that I've considered it part of my mission to help humanize Tom Cruise, and to sort of paint him in a better light. It's kind of my mission in life. So I'd like to tell you that Tom Cruise is showering appreciation on his Mission Impossible 7 crew members ahead of Christmas. He had 300 Christmas cakes shipped from L.A. to the United Kingdom on his private jet as a gift for everyone on the team. The plane was sent on a 5,500-mile round trip across the Atlantic. Cruise is famous for sending the white chocolate coconut bundt cake from Doan's Bakery in Woodland Hills. They're very good. For his favorite people. In fact, many who know him also dub it the Tom Cruise cake. A source told The Sun, Tom wanted to give the team on Mission Impossible a treat for Christmas and decided that only cakes from his favorite bakery in L.A. would do. What a guy, huh? What a guy.
He's never heard of Gold Belly, I guess.
Now, I don't know about this.
Hear about this?
You probably can't play ball like LaMelo Ball, but thanks to his new watch partnership, you can at least now tell time like he does if you've got a lot of money laying around. TMZ Sports has learned after partnering with Hong Kong watch brand Memorigin, the Charlotte Hornets superstar LaMelo Ball has just released 2 new luxury watches. One of the timepieces is loaded with 226 diamonds and will cost roughly $16,000. A more modest black steel version will cost around $6,800. And man, they are both sick, it says here.
That's a good thing.
They are both
That's
sick.
not a bad thing.
Sick. They are sick, featuring all kinds of mellow-themed elements. I don't know about you, but I really would like a LaMelo Ball watch. That's what Tom Cruise should have sent the crew.
Watches.
Yeah. Kroger It's the country's largest traditional grocery chain.
Okay.
They're ending benefits for unvaccinated workers as big employers attempt to compel more of their workforce to become vaccinated, with cases of COVID-19 again rising. Unvaccinated workers will no longer be eligible to receive up to 2 weeks paid emergency leave if they become infected, a company spokesperson confirmed Tuesday. So essentially what they're saying is if you get COVID, it's your fault.
Yes.
That policy was put into place last year when vaccines were unavailable. While they're going back to it, the Cincinnati company has also confirmed changes in benefits first reported by the Wall Street Journal for non-union management. Unvaccinated workers in that category will pay a monthly $50 surcharge for their company health plan. So Kroger, and they own Smith's grocery stores here in Utah, they are cracking down on employees.
I think this is a reasonable thing. If you choose to not get vaccinated, fine, but it's going to cost you.
I'd like our company to do that. A solid majority of Utahns say that they're back to reporting to in-person work on a full-time basis. But the news comes as a slew of U.S. employers are responding to rising COVID-19 and Omicron concerns by rethinking workplace decisions. The data comes from a new Deseret News Hinckley Institute of Politics poll that found 57% of currently employed Utahns are now back at their jobs, their places of work.
Oh, because it's over. It's good.
43% remain in either remote work situations or some hybrid combination of in-person and remote. Those who aren't coming into work every day, 16% said they're doing their jobs entirely at home. 27% report that they go into the office occasionally. But again, employers are rethinking that, and I know around the country, many employers are saying, you should just stay home.
Yes.
Police said that they've recovered the gun that led to West High School being placed under lockdown on Monday. Salt Lake Police Chief Mike Brown made the announcement Tuesday afternoon. No other details released. Police would not say whether the gun was located at the school or at the home of the student. Haiti, I don't know why Haiti is just, it seems like every catastrophe that can possibly befall a country.
If something bad can happen, it'll happen in Haiti.
Yeah. Port-au-Prince, this didn't happen in Port-au-Prince. At least 62 people were killed and dozens injured after a tanker transporting gasoline exploded in Cap Haitien, Haiti's second largest city. The situation remains critical, said Deputy Mayor Patrick Almonar on Tuesday, who also extended an appeal for blood donations. The fuel tanker exploded after it had stopped due to mechanical issues. It began leaking gas, and people gathered to collect gasoline in any way they can, and that's when the explosion occurred. If you want to go to Arches National Park next spring, you'll need a reservation. They're going to absolutely crack down. The park is currently full, and we are temporarily delaying entries into the park. Vehicles attempting to enter the park will have to come back at another time.
I think this is a good thing. Mm-hmm. Won't it be nice to just know we're going at noon and that you can get in, not going, well, we're going to get there early and we'll wait in line and this is a better way to handle it.
Yeah, and the more people that are there, you're just tearing it all up.
Sure.
Yeah. Limit it.
And finally, this story. 2 huge lions sparked mass panic at a major airport in Singapore after escaping from their enclosure as they were being taken onto a plane. Vets were forced to fire tranquilizer guns at the beasts after tense standoff. But apparently, the lions were roaming around the Singapore airport, and they're gigantic. The animals. There was a little bit of a tense situation where one of the people trying to handle the situation was cornered by one of the lions. It's not clear where the lions are from or where they were headed, but they were masked.
Well, they
should. So that's one benefit. They did wear masks.
Check their boarding pass. That'll tell you.
All right, that's it.
Well, we have a couple of minutes.
Oh, we do?
If you have another story that you want to get to.
Yeah, I could do another story. Hang on for 1 second, and I will get you one. Right here it is now. How about? Oh, okay. A New Orleans woman. she's sitting in a restaurant.
Okay.
And she's eating oysters.
Okay.
She's having some oysters. And she discovered 12 pearls inside of one oyster that she was...
That's a whole necklace.
After attempting to gulp the contents of the last shell from her table's half-dozen oysters inside Superior Seafood, kindergarten teacher Kiwi Hill discovered that so she started to crunch on something. And what the hell? What's going on? And she had enough time to spit them out. And she said, I bit in half and felt them on my tongue. It was a bizarre experience. I thought, what the? I definitely ate one of the oysters. It crushed my teeth. I crushed it in my teeth. The dozen BB-sized pearls were enough to surprise Superior Seafood oyster shucker Jordan J. Gallett, who said, most I ever saw was 9. She got 12 in that one.
I imagine if you shucked oysters for a living, you'd see a few of those.
Occasionally. She said she wants to have them set into a ring with the largest one in the center. That's a nice idea.
I almost ate this, she'll tell people. When
See this here? Yeah. Almost ate it.
Yeah. Oysters. All right, there you go.
Sports weather traffic.
Shaun White says the 2022 Winter Olympics will be his last. This is, I think, my last run. White's won 3 Olympic gold medals and been the face of American snowboarding for more than a decade. At 35, he's attempting to qualify for what would be his 5th trip to the Games. He placed 8th in the U.S. Grand Prix in Colorado last weekend. So you'll see the Flying Tomato, hopefully, in one more Olympics. The Jazz, let's see, they are home tonight to the Clippers. And I was doing this in the sports earlier, Bill, before you got here. COVID, I don't understand because it's over. But in the NFL, the NBA, and NHL...
Yeah, I heard this.
It's running rampant. Yeah. There are 12 Chicago Bulls players that are out due to COVID protocol. The Lakers have put practice on hold. The Rams have put practice on hold.
I would point out that the NBA, the National Basketball Association, played last year in what they called the bubble. And it seemed to work pretty well.
Yeah. Just down there in Florida.
Yeah.
I mean, but Bill, money, because you got to have butts in seats.
Yeah.
That's there are no butts in seats in the bubble.
Yeah.
Oh, that's your sports weather. Well, gosh, it's actually blue skies down here in downtown Salt Lake. It looks sunny and lovely, and hopefully this makes it easier for crews to get things cleaned up just in time for another storm that's supposed to come tonight. 80% chance of snow overnight tonight into tomorrow morning, so this could be a repeat of today. Probably not as much accumulation, but still accumulation overnight tonight into tomorrow. So hopefully our snowplows have time to get things all tidied up. There is some issues out at the airport. If you're supposed to fly out today, there were some delays from earlier flights that still could be affecting you. Multiple flights canceled. Check with your airline. Of course, you should do that anyway, even when we don't have bad weather. Just always check in before you head out there. You're going to need to give yourself extra time to get out there, too. Also, if Trax is part of your commute, those trains are running behind schedule as well. There are power outages people are dealing with. Lots of branches came down overnight due to either wind, like in Carey's neighborhood, or heavy snow in some places. Too many accidents and issues to tell you about this morning. Just know that even though the sun is up, still could be an issue for your commute. So don't travel if you don't need to. That's traffic. Right. Injured in an accident, everyone deserves an advocate. Call 801-355-5550 or go to UtahAdvocates.com.
Here's boner candidate number 3. I cried for a week. A Mississippi woman says she cried for a week after she accidentally live streamed herself having sex with her husband on Facebook. The woman, known on TikTok as, it doesn't matter, made the candid conversation in a video posted on Saturday, revealing that dozens of her Facebook friends tuned in to view the X-rated romp, including her father.
Oops. Why would you watch that?
Randomly, I don't know. Randomly remembering that one time last year when I accidentally went live on Facebook while I was in Pound Town, and 46 people saw it, including my own father. She said, I cried for a week straight. I thought my life was over. The mom of one further confessed, "My husband thinks it's hilarious." The woman explained she was browsing Facebook before her husband sneaked up on her and they began getting amorous. However, the frisky Facebook user became so caught up in the moment, she ignored the calls and continued having the cess. And her father clicked on the live feed, and then he exited when he realized what was taking place. Whoa! I cried for a week. Boner candidate number 3.
Let's put the phone away.
Yeah.
All right? All right, let's review the first 2 and vote.
Boner candidate number 1. Do these people think nobody records what they say? Marjorie Taylor Greene claiming that she and other Republicans are against hate, and then people said, well, yeah, but here you were recorded talking about swearing in on the Quran and Muslims are a danger and, so forth and so on. Boner candidate number 2, some things are not forgivable. A judge asking forgiveness after a video showing repeated use of the N-word in her home. And boner candidate number 3, I cried for a week.
Okay, here we go. You've got to decide of these 3 candidates, which one is the worst, which one should go forward to Boner Fight and get that chance to become Boner of the Day. Winning here secures it a spot in Boner Dome, going up against the winner of round 1. You'll decide Boner of the Day with your vote at 9:20. So we got to send one of these 3 from this round 2 forward. 1, 2, or 3. Remember your candidate number, the one that you think should win. Put that single digit in the message of a text, and then text that to 33986. Or you can call the producer's booth. Our phone lines are working, 877-602-9696. Or go online, x96.com. Look for the box that says Boner Voting December 15, 2021, and vote there. If you don't see that box, refresh. It'll appear. You've got about 4 minutes is all. Let's go. It's round 2.
Line. Spell it with me now. L-I-N-E. We'll use it now in some dialogue featuring our good friends LeVar and LeGrand. Imagine, if you will, the boys have gotten together for lunch at the High Spot Cafe. The word again is line.
Well, this is good postum here to the High Spot, LeVar.
Look, the words good and postum never go together, LeGrand. Now, the coffee here is mighty fine, but don't tell me there's any difference in any postum you get anywhere. It's all horse pee.
Well, I like it. And that actor guy sure must have gotten rich off on us Utahns when he invented this caffeine-free beverage. Yeah, that Tom Postum has always been funny on the Newhart shows, and he's made a great all-weather beverage, too.
Whoa. Whoa. Now this song sure brings back the memories. I didn't know they had Madonna music on the jukebox here.
Well, why does it bring back memories for you, LeVar? Do you remember what you was doing the first time you heard the song?
Heard it? Hell, I helped Madonna write it.
Uh-huh. And I had tea with the Queen of England the other day.
I ain't lying, LeGrand. Me and Madonna had kind of a thing for a couple of months back in '87. I guess you could say Madonna was my girlfriend.
Do tell.
If I'm lying, I'm dying, LeGrand. Yep. Miss Chacon and me, that's her real name, you know, was sitting in the breakfast nook one morning after a night of truth or dare, if you know what I mean. So anyway, the phone rings. Madonna answers it and says, "Hey, LeVar, honey, the phone's for you." I said, "Who's that girl?" And the rest is history.
You're lying, LeVar. You're lying through your tobacco-stained teeth.
If I'm lying, then what do you call this?
Yeah. It's a picture of you and Madonna sitting in a breakfast nook.
Yep.
Why, looky there. You got matching pajamas with little horses on them.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't lying. You ain't lying at all. That's really her.
Yep. She'll always be my material girl.
Well, what happened? Why did you break up?
I dumped her.
Well, why in the heck did you do that?
Well, did I ever tell you about me and Tori Spelling?
Okay, let's award round 2 of your boners.
Yes, let's. And it's brought to you in part by Leftover Baked Ziti.
And Robber's Roost Campsite Cordial Rockin' Bourbon. Enjoy this rich, warming, spiced whiskey spirit straight from the bottle, or pour it in a tin cup and sip it by a fire on shelves now at select DABC stores. Produced by Water Pocket Distillery.
We had boner candidate number 1, which was, do these people think that nobody records what they say? Marjorie Taylor Greene being caught in a lie because, you know, there are cameras around and recording devices and what a moron.
Yeah.
Boner candidate number 2, some things are not forgivable. A judge in Louisiana asking for forgiveness, please, and understanding after repeated use of the N-word in her home, caught on video. And boner candidate number 3, I cried for a week. A woman accidentally live streaming sex with her husband, and her dad happened to tune in. Let's see. Tori won a prize for being a random boner voter, and it was pretty close between number 1 and number 2, but edging out some things are not forgivable. Marjorie Taylor Greene, do these people think no one records what they say?
There's your winner of round 2. It now goes forward to boner fight. It might be boner of the day. Depends on how well it does against the winner of round 1's voting. 2 good candidates. It'll be a good boner fight at 9:20. That's when you'll decide boner of the day. Is this a sponsored feature?
Yes, prepping for the holidays, Zero Res can help clean up before and after festivities, keeping your carpets clean well into 2022. Give them a jingle by calling or booking online at ZeroResSaltLake.com, or if you're up north, ZeroResDavisWeber.com.
Things that must go on the radio.
These are things that are bugging you, and I bet you have a bunch of new ones this morning. You can let us know. You can email your things that must go to us. Do it at any time. You don't have to wait. Just whenever something strikes you, say, I'm sending this to Radio From Hell. Maybe they can make it go. Email us, radiofromhell@x96.com.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. First, this one from Brit.
It says don't use my name, doesn't it? You know, it'd probably be best if you just left your name off, right?
No.
Well, no, that could be any name, right?
Brit. I'm sorry. I didn't pre-read these. I just opened it up here. I'm going to skip to this one from Brock, who said I could.
Who said you can use his name? All right.
Hello, lords and lady. I have a few different things on my must-go list. First, this stupid cough. I have it too. So I had pneumonia, remember? And I've gone through my whole antibiotics thing, and I still have a cough.
You still have it?
I can't kick it. I feel much better, but I can't kick it. And apparently Brock has it too. He says, I keep finally thinking I'm getting over it, but life plays tricks on you. I'm on week 6 of this cough, and it won't go away. I've been to Instacare a couple of times, and they say, well, that sucks. Not much we can do about it.
Again, wash hands, wear masks. I know you're tired of us saying it, but
he says
that helps with the colds too.
He says, I've tried every medication under the sun, but nothing wants to help. I'm in the same boat. I feel so bad for my husband because for some reason, when I lay down to go to sleep at night,
that's where it hits. Huh?
And I'm like, I keep you up coughing all night. Brock also says, next is my organic chemistry final I have Wednesday morning. Hey, Brock, maybe it's delayed.
Oh.
I don't know if you're going to have it. He said, I've created a large enough buffer where I can pass no matter what grade I get on the final, but I'm just asking for your help. I really don't want to repeat this class. I want to be one step closer to graduation. To finish, a few quick things that must go regarding your show.
Uh-oh. First,
the celebrity birthday segment.
No, we need that.
You have been successful because you're not a typical morning show. Who cares what management and consultants say? Be yourselves.
Oh, we've been told that we're bummers and we need to do lighthearted stuff.
Second, the hate for only having one phone line. Brock, it's fixed.
Yeah.
He said, I see this as an opportunity to provide one-liner jokes anytime the issue gets brought up. Well, now that I think about it, please don't do that. That would contradict my celebrity birthday must go. And lastly, I'm going to use reverse psychology for these magical must-go powers. I don't want a Christmas miracle. I don't want the 20 simple sauces to be a Christmas gift to all the friends of the program this year.
Although Andrew had the funniest line in the chat room this morning. If you play My Ding-a-ling backwards, you get a list of simple sauces that will enhance any meal. Sorry, again, these are private jokes, folks. Sorry. You need to listen longer and more.
If you're new to the Radio from Hell show,
all of these references.
We need footnotes.
All right. A couple from our home.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I know you disagree with me on this, but advent calendars that make you go searching for the next date. Why can't they just be in order?
It's part of the fun.
My advent wine calendar, sometimes we forget, and it's... Anyway. Streaming services related, two of them. When you're watching whatever it is that you're watching, playing the same 4 commercials during every single commercial break.
Yes, I hate that. Hate it. Can't you move that around a little bit?
Okay, I'll give you the first time, yes. Yeah. I'll give you the second time. After that, we know.
Yeah.
Switch it up. Put in a public service message about, adopt a dog or something like that. That kind of thing. Also, not remembering my selection for closed captioning from session to session. I have to turn it back on every time I start watching something. There are some services that remember this is how you like to watch it.
It should always.
There are some who just don't remember how you like to watch things. This one from Tony. Follow up from earlier, things that must go. The Facebook post about Sharon's burnt pumpkin pie from Marie Callender's being taken down. It inspired so many memes and an article in Newsweek.
Yeah.
All right. Not one person, nobody, suspecting that Mr. Bo Peng had a 3 victory point card at a Catan U.S. National Championship because they thought they were night cards, thus allowing him to win and play Grand Hotel Excelsior Malta for the 2022 World Championship.
What? I don't know what any of that is.
Where Radio from Hell should totally do a remote from the future. It's a gaming thing. It's Settlers of Catan championship. 2, Bill making a Beat Gina contestant feel bad after she waited 45 minutes to win Foo Fighters tickets. It's a good thing that Gina stood up to him. In fact, she deserves a Diet Coke and a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup for doing that. A fresh Reese's Peanut Butter Cup.
Thank you.
Number 3, coughing due to winter inversion.
Yes.
4, getting advert in my email about selling tickets to see Jordan Peterson. I don't need to spend time or money on someone who defends American exceptionalism, tells men to wash their butts, or right-wing junk. Yeah, he's a turd.
Okay.
TikTokers playing Duncan Lawrence's Arcade, but calling it the Loving You is a Losing Game song. Why the hell would you call something longer when the original name is just a single word?
Yeah, good point.
Number 6, things that must go. Gina's son being addicted to ginger ale.
Yeah.
Thank you for teaching me about Jacksonville, Florida, Tony.
Things that must go on the radio. From Hell Show.
Traffic.
Oh.
Yes, sorry.
So the sun's out, and you think, well, it's great. Everything's fine. The plows are still trying to get all of the side streets and neighborhoods taken care of.
Still haven't hit my street.
They would still like you to stay off the roads if you can. Makes it easier for them to clear them, of course. Tracks running behind. If you have a flight going out today, give yourself even more extra time to get out to the airport. And there are delays and cancellations in flights today. So just if you're trying to move around in any way today, it's probably going to take you longer. And it's just best to stay home if you can. I know your kids, some of them are home all day or had a late start today. You should just stay there, too. That's traffic.
All right. Thank you very much. We will take a break. We will be back. We've got Boner Fight on the way. Reasonable amount of news.
Email of interest.
Email of interest coming up. All of that and more. Stand by. KXRK Provo.
Let's see, Gina, if we can maybe recreate. This is before Carrie signed on. It was just you and I. It was just you and I on the line. And this is what happened.
Okay.
Gina said to me, "Good morning.
Morning, Bill.
Hi, Gina. And then you asked me how I was.
How are you today?
Well, I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
I'm fine. I may have to go to the Instacare later, though.
So that's so Gina.
Hang on.
Oh, I'm fine.
There we go.
I'm fine. I may have to go to Instacare later. So you're not fine.
I mean, no. I guess other than this one thing, I'm pretty good.
What do you, now? Let me guess.
Okay.
You have a boil that may need to be lanced.
No.
You've broken your ankle.
I don't know.
Oh, we're getting warm there.
Well,
Getting warm
I think
there.
I heard her mention her ankle earlier.
Did you trip along with Mitt Romney? Did you both were you together?
We were walking together.
Were you roughhousing with the kids?
So remember a couple of months ago when I one time ordered dog food to be delivered, and I felt really bad for the delivery guy because it's like 50 pounds, and I'm like, I'm not doing that anymore to my poor delivery drivers. That's all they do all day.
The delivery drivers who get paid for lifting things and delivering things, and
it's one thing to drop a 5-pound package on my doorstep. It's another to drop a bag of dog food.
Okay.
So I fed Riley yesterday morning, and I noticed she was out. Like, okay, well, today I got to go get dog food. So I put on my clogs that have a tiny heel on them and went to Sugar House Commons to go to the Petco to get her Science Diet perfect weight for fat golden retrievers dog food. And the curbs at Sugar House Commons are uneven. Like, you know when you're carrying something and you step off a curb and you have a sense of, well, that should be where the ground is. It should be right there. And oh no, it's a good 3 or 4 inches more than that. So your
yes. Now,
momentum is.
Were you carrying a heavy bag of dog food at the time?
So I was carrying things, and I rolled my ankle, and I didn't hear anything snap, but it was sharp, instant pain. So much so that I thought, I don't know if I'm going to be able to drive my car, because it was my right foot. So I hopped into the driver's seat, and I sat there for like 20 minutes going, okay, what am I going to do?
No, you were doing this. You were doing this for 20 minutes.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Did you see me?
Did you have any plan as to what you would do if you couldn't drive your car?
No plan.
20 minutes. You couldn't have said, maybe I could call my sister, my husband, my mother. Maybe I could call. No, that never occurred to you.
No.
Okay. All right.
So I wasn't that far from home. You know how you always think, no matter where you are, I can make it home. It could be an hour away. I can make it home. So I made it home.
Yes.
And my husband called, and I did the same thing to him, Bill, by the way.
Hi, babe. How's it going? Hey, Boots.
Yeah.
Hey, Boots. Hey, Boots. How are you? What's going on?
I'm good. Well, except maybe this
what?
thing. And he said, do you want me to come home? I said, no. I'm fine.
No.
And he said, well, at least call the telehealth and talk to them and see what they say to do. So I called the telehealth.
And they said, put ice on it.
And they said, put ice on it and take
When
ibuprofen.
she could have called me.
But she also said, can you put weight on it?
Okay.
Well, what? You mean like a barbell or something?
No, like me.
Something really heavy.
Yeah, exactly. And so this is where the negotiation happens.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, kind of. But it hurts really bad. You know, I don't want to go to Instacare. I don't. So I talked myself out. I'm like, I could put weight on it. And she's like, well, as long as you can put weight on it, just ice it and take ibuprofen, and it's probably okay. It really hurts to walk on it.
Well, yeah, it would this morning, yeah.
So
because you've pulled all those muscles, and they're going to be sore after a night of sleep.
Here's the trick. Have you got ice on it right now?
No, I have it propped up, but
you should put ice on it now. But here's the trick. When you do decide to go to Instacare, how are you going to get there?
Good question.
Well, my mother called me last night.
Oh, thank God somebody called you so that you could ask for help.
Oh, good, yes.
Well, she called me because I had, about an hour prior to this incident, made us mani-pedi appointments because it's her birthday this week, and I thought I'll take her and get her a mani-pedi. And so she called me and she said, I'm excited about our mani-pedi. Well, and I said, well, maybe I could do the mani. I don't know about the pedi. But no, I didn't call her to tell it. But so she said, let me know if you want me to drive you to the Instacare. If nothing else, I just want them to tell me it's not broken.
Well, your husband's a doctor, Dr. Jones.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not a medical doctor, but he's had some experience. What does he think?
Well, he thinks I should go get it x-rayed.
Well, yes.
Because he doesn't have an x-ray at home.
He doesn't have x-ray vision?
No.
All this talk, all these years, I could have swore he has that. Now, Sue says that you need to get that looked at because it could be your Achilles heel. Because my brother-in-law, Porterhouse,
blow out that tendon, you mean?
Blew out his Achilles. He heard a pop when it snapped.
It's so dumb, though. You feel so dumb. I just stepped off a curb. It's not, nothing exciting happened. It was
Gina, let's remember, I just fell out of a tree.
That's true.
Well, that's way more exciting than stepping off a curb, Katie.
Still the same idea.
People just step off a curb and get hit by buses. I just stepped off a curb.
I just stepped off the curb. You just feel dumb. You feel dumb, though. You feel like... And you can feel it happening. Like, I'm putting my foot down, The ground should be there. Where's the ground? It should be right there. Oh, there it is.
Well, often a sprain is more, they say, is often more painful and, it'll get more swollen and than a break. Is it all purple and everything?
Yeah, and it's swollen, and I just want someone to look at it and go, "This is what it is," and maybe wrap it up really tight or something. Because
get some ice on it, right? Though even now,
people are saying sprains hurt worse than breaks,
so it's probably what.
And they're curious as to whether the dog food is still in your car.
No, I sent the kids to
I'm getting dozens of messages about why you didn't use a grocery cart to take your dog food to your car, but that's asking too much.
No, it's one thing. I don't need a cart for one thing.
Also, if the doctor asks how you did it, use your son's example and say you were wrestling a bear.
A bear, yes.
All right. Okay. Because on this day?
Yep. I love that song. He is 63 years old, still alive, remarkably.
Who?
On this day. Singer and whistle player for the Pogues, Spider Stacy. 63 today. The Pogues, fronted by Shane MacGowan, founded in King's Cross, London. The name the Pogues, they used to call themselves Pogue Mahone. And Pogue Mahone in Celtic, or Gaelic rather, means kiss my...
yeah,
Pogue Mahone. Kiss my,
Yeah.
A word.
Yes.
The band reached international prominence in the 80s and early 90s. MacGowan left the band in 91 owing to his drinking problems. And I saw a documentary or something, and the Pogues were in, and Shane MacGowan, hugely talented guy. He was the one singing that song. But he was so drunk he could barely get through a show. And you know who replaced him?
No.
Joe Strummer. And then Spider Stacy, that's when he came on to the Pogues as well. Then the band broke up in 1996. But
so how is he still alive? Is he
Don't
sober
know.
now?
Oh, no, that Spider Stacy's not the drunk. Shane McGowan.
Shane McGowan.
I'm not sure if he's still alive. He has no teeth either. Like, he sings, you see, I mean, his teeth are all rotted out, and he just leaves it that way. I don't understand that, but that's what he does.
Sounds like he makes a lot of bad choices.
He does. He's still around.
Oh, no, he does have teeth.
Did he get his teeth fixed?
He has 8 titanium implants.
Oh, so he got them fixed at some point.
Yeah.
Titanium? So does he have...
steel. Yeah.
The dental surgeon who carried out the procedure commented that McGowan had recorded most of his great works while he still had some teeth.
Yeah. Does it say why? I mean, and it was.
I'm sure
it was
it's the drinking.
It was ugly because when he would sing and he'd open his mouth, you could just see and you could tell they were rotten stumps in his mouth, and not teeth.
Yeah.
But man, he's a good singer.
Teeth.
He lost all of his teeth around 2008. That's bad when your Wikipedia has an entry about the date you lost all of your teeth.
Yeah. Well, it was a real. I mean, it was notable. You couldn't miss it. So now he has like Jaws, that character in the Bond movie. He has steel teeth.
Corey says that there's a good documentary about them. Corey, what's it called? Let us tell us what it is so we can find it.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you. I watched a documentary, but I don't remember what it was.
Tell us the name of it so we can find it and watch it. I like a good rock doc.
Yeah, and you see what a talented band they are. Oh, one other quick thing about the Pogues. The names of the albums they released. Listen to the names. So the first one, Red Roses for Me. Okay, that's fine. Rum, Sodomy, and the Lash. If I Should Fall from Grace with God, which is a really good album. Peace and Love, Hell's Ditch, Waiting for Herb, and Pogue Mahone. That's their discography.
He's sober now, apparently.
Really? Well, good for him.
Now, speaking of rock docs.
Yeah.
And I sent you this. So I watched the Aretha Franklin documentary, Respect.
Mm-hmm.
Not a very good biopic.
So you're talking about the biopic with...
Yeah, the biopic,
what's her
sorry.
name?
Jennifer Hudson.
Yeah.
It's not a very good biopic, but she is incredible.
Yes.
She's a great singer.
She can sing like Aretha. She's right there. Then I found this morning because I was thinking about her and how good she is.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw this. I sent it to Bill because I know he loves Tom Jones.
Email? Oh, I saw it. Yeah, I saw that. I didn't get a chance to look at it.
So this is Jennifer Hudson and Tom Jones, and they're hosting some game show in Britain. Is it The Voice?
Yeah.
It's the British edition of The Voice because it's on ITV.
And Tom is 80 years old now, Tom Jones.
And they have a live band there. And somebody says that you two should do a little riff, a little improvised kind of maybe you two should do a song. And just so out of nowhere.
So this is unrehearsed?
Are you going to play a little
This is unrehearsed. I'm going to play it for you. This is Jennifer Hudson and Tom Jones doing it. It's a man.
I have to follow you.
It's a man's world.
Oh my God. I'm following you, Tom. Because it's a man's world.
David, what key would be a
That'll suffice.
See, now we come.
I remember this is they just decided to do it.
Yeah.
You know.
This is a man's world. This is a man's world. Don't you know?
Man's world, yes, I know it. But it ain't nothing without a woman or a girl.
Cause a man made them toys. And after a man makes everything. Don't you know, then tell me what about it?
Oh, yeah.
Man made
What it
money.
did. Yes, it did.
to buy from other men.
Oh, this world, but it ain't that
Whoa. Gee. What?
I know, right?
How does anybody do that?
Oh yeah.
How does I heard Tom Jones interviewed once, and they said, so you're in your late 70s, and your voice, is it going at all? He said, it doesn't seem to be. I said, I don't know
I
why.
seem to still be able to do this.
Yeah, I don't know why I can still do it.
But those two impressive.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just had to play that for
Well,
you.
thank you.
All right, we will take a break. We will be. Oh, let's talk quickly about Chevy dealers and how we aren't at the Chevy dealer in Ogden right now. We're in our studio in Salt Lake.
And I heard from a friend of the program that it is still snowing up in Ogden. So a good idea that we pivoted and decided to do our broadcast at
Friday.
Friday.
Yeah, it's John Watson Chevrolet on Wall Avenue. You know, I was afraid when I got up this morning. I was afraid I was going to look out the window and the storm had been a bust, and there was nothing, because we already made the decision to move it to Friday. But we'll be there 6 to 10 on Friday morning. It's the road to the road home.
We need blankets, coats, boots, anything you needed today to deal with this weather. That's the kind of thing they're looking for at the road home. Warm clothing,
gloves, hats, coats,
exactly.
All of that stuff. So that's tomorrow or Friday.
Friday. So then we'll be at John Watson Chevrolet in Wall Avenue in Ogden on Friday. Yeah. But you can take them to any Chevy dealership, Rocky Mountain Chevy dealership along the Wasatch Front if you can't.
Anytime. You don't have to wait till we're there.
Exactly. I got a bunch of stuff. And I'm like, it's in the back of my car.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be in the back of my car. I was like, do I drive it up to Ogden and put it in the pickup truck?
Sure, yeah.
Or do I just take it to where it's easy and convenient?
I'm going to bring stuff to Ogden,
But I'll be in Ogden.
Yeah,
so
I think I will too.
I'll take it.
Is it going to snow?
Yeah.
So remember when we were trying to think of which day to move it to, because we will have some more snow tomorrow, but Friday looks very clear.
Okay,
so.
okay, good.
All right, so X96.com has all the information you need about that. Go! We got Boner Fight coming up next.
Ho, ho, ho.
You know, he works late a couple nights a week, and then I'm in charge of dinner.
Mm-hmm. That means Olive Garden.
Which is a laugh.
Which me in charge of dinner is never me making dinner.
It's Olive Garden.
You know, you could learn. You're not stupid. You could learn. It's not. No, it's probably too late for you.
Listen, there are a limited number of recipes that you can do with meat and bread. And that's.
And my kids will tell you this story if you ever have them. What does your mom make you for dinner? And you know what they will tell you? Mac and milk.
Mac and milk?
Because a while ago I went to make mac and cheese for them.
We have people who work for the Division of Child and Family Services listening to this show. I'm not sure you want to tell this.
And because I don't eat mac and cheese, I don't think, really.
Mm-hmm.
So you boil the pasta, and then I measured out the milk.
This is for the boxed.
Yeah, to put the
crap
powder in.
That any moron can do.
Yeah.
That at 8 years old I was doing.
And I poured the milk into the noodles, and I put it on the table, and the kids, all three of them, sitting there, and they said, "Did you put the cheese?"
Where's the cheese?
back
It's just powder. It's cheese powder. Where is it?
I forgot to put it in the milk and mix it up.
So you are stupid. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's impossible for you to learn to cook.
Yes.
You could do it.
But my husband does such a good job.
But that burden falls upon you to give succor to your family.
to nourish twice a week.
Gina, to nourish and strengthen their bodies.
That doesn't hurt them to have pizza twice a week.
You're a disappointment. I'm surprised you snagged a husband.
I am too.
Well, everybody.
And he's such a good guy. He wouldn't divorce me now that he knows the truth.
Even though he was duped.
This is now a pity marriage.
All the way.
I'm married.
I got him to marry me quickly.
Now I'm married to you out of pity. I got to stick with you because you wouldn't survive.
.20 right now. We do have boner fight coming up here in about 7 minutes. Mm-hmm. So before that, a reasonable amount bordering on big boy news. Brought to you by
Moochie's would like to thank their loyal customers for supporting their locally owned and operated business. Moochie's has been voted Best of Utah for over 17 years. Dine-in, delivery, and pickup available.
LaDainian Tomlinson and Antonio Gates. Football.
Okay.
Footballers. Just did their best Santa Claus impersonations. They gave an entire room full of kids brand new bicycles for the holidays.
Nice.
The Chargers legends hit up an L.A. area school earlier this week for the sweet gesture, and video of their surprise visit is awesome. You can see in the footage, Tomlinson came out to the crowd of kids, first with a new set of wheels and a Chargers helmet, while Gates followed suit with a ride of his own shortly after. It appeared that the Bolts duo, that's short for the Chargers, because they have those the electricity bolts on their helmets.
From the San Diego, yeah.
Except they're not, they're now the LA Chargers, I
No,
think. Yeah, they
they're
are.
the LA Rams.
No, they're still the Chargers, aren't they? You can see, anyway, they gave 150, look it up, please. They gave 150 bikes to kids for Christmas. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
The Chargers. There's the Chargers and the Rams.
Yeah, and
they're both LA.
Yeah.
Okay.
San Diego didn't want to pay for improvements to a stadium or something, so they said, that's okay, we'll move to LA, and they did. You should seek this trailer out and watch it. It's really cool. The trailer for The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, starring Nicolas Cage as Nicolas Cage. The movie's official synopsis is this. Nicolas Cage stars as Nick Cage in an action comedy, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Creatively unfulfilled and facing financial ruin, the fictionalized version of Cage must accept a $1 million offer to attend the birthday of a dangerous superfan, played by Pedro Pascal, who in the trailer is also very funny. Things take a wildly unexpected turn when Cage is recruited by a CIA operative, played by Tiffany Haddish, and forced to live up to his own legend, channeling his most iconic and beloved on-screen characters in order to save himself and his loved ones.
Now, I did not watch this.
It's very
Is
funny.
it safe for work?
I don't think there's
no, I think,
swearing
yes,
in it.
there is.
Is there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a swear in
Because
the...
I'm not getting my green band yet.
There's a swear right in the beginning of it, for sure. With a career built for this very moment, the seminal award-winning actor must take on the role of a lifetime and play himself, Nick Cage, scheduled for theaters April of 2022.
I appreciate people that are able to make fun of themselves.
It's and he looks like he's doing a really good job. You know, I mean, it looks fun and it looks and it looks exciting, and there are other good people in it as well. As the coronavirus pandemic nears the end of its second year, a new survey finds the global health crisis is taking a concerning toll on the mental health of most Americans. I'm raising my hand.
Yeah.
I'm one.
Me too.
In fact, just 42% feel optimistic about post-pandemic life, most saying that the new normal of fearing viruses and overwhelming stress is impacting their well-being. Yes, it is. Frankly, I'm terrified. I'll just admit it.
Sure.
Results show 2 in 3 American adults say the pandemic continues to affect at least one aspect of their health and well-being. Now there's some news here that's not terrible. When will COVID end? The CDC is, well, according to Utah legislator Paul Ray, it ended when he passed the exit plan bill,
the end
game bill in the legislature, and then quit the legislature to go work for the health department. Sorry. But the question on most people's minds is, when will the pandemic end? Dr. Rochelle Walensky, director of Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, has a prediction. She told ABC News the pandemic will end when the country sees a huge drop in deaths per day and hospitals aren't packed with patients. Well, that's logical.
Yeah.
She says, we've gotten pretty cavalier about 1,000 deaths a day. That's an extraordinary amount of deaths in a single day from this disease. She said, I can't be in a position where that's okay. The pandemic, she said, will eventually end, and that will mean that we can drop the face masks from our culture, too. Masks are for now, they're not forever, Walensky said. We have to find a way to be done with them. Dr. Scott Gottlieb, Food and Drug Administrator, said on Face the Nation that the pandemic phase of the coronavirus outbreak he felt was close to ending. I think we're close to the end of a pandemic phase of the virus. Then we're going to enter a more endemic phase. And as things improve, cases may pick up. But that was before the Omicron variant emerged. And now people are worrying that might change that and those predictions. And, of course, Utah Well, we were under 1,000.
Yeah, it was good numbers, better numbers than we've had in a while.
Yeah, under 1,000 in cases reported, cases reported, and 19 deaths reported. Speaking of reports, a report from Utah State University is warning of long-term drought, continued air quality issues, and increased demand for outdoor recreation opportunities.
Is this the bummer news?
Listen, this whole show is a bummer. What are you talking about? We've been bumming people out for close to 30 years here. They say urban development is increasing and resulting in the loss of agriculture and natural landscapes. I remember when this used to be all farmland. Utah has been in a drought for the past 20 years, essentially. And long-term drought in the West is expected to be a big part of the future. And we never really have adequately addressed that, done anything about it. Things like metering water. Yes, that would be horrible. It would be expensive. But you put meters on your house and you get a certain allotment for free. And when you go over that, you start paying.
Mm-hmm.
Just, you have to do things like that. The chief of police in Salt Lake, Chief Brown, says 2 shooting deaths in 2 days over the weekend. He said, that's really unusual. He says it's abnormal for Salt Lake. He said people should not get incredibly worried. He said Salt Lake is still a very safe place to live. But, when those things happen, people get all, very nervous.
Sure.
And I can't blame them. Steve Bannon's contempt of Congress trial has been set. I wish it was sooner. July 18th, the start date for the trial. The schedule puts the high-profile case front and center as the 2022 midterm campaign is in full swing. Bannon was seeking to delay the trial even later, proposing that it begin in mid-October, but no, he's going to go on July 16th. Human remains. You're listening, aren't you, Gina?
Now I am. I wasn't before, but
an 8-month search for the missing girlfriend of former NFL player Kevin Ware Jr. may have ended with the discovery of human remains. Taylor Pomaski, 29 years old, was last seen April 25th at a party in Spring, Texas, near Houston. The case was transferred to the Homicide Division of Harris County Sheriff's Office a few weeks later. On December 10th, the body was excavated from a site that Sheriff Ed Gonzalez said had previously been identified during the investigation. The identity of the body has not yet been confirmed, but Gonzalez thinks it is related to or could be the Pomaski woman. Ware, who played tight end for the San Francisco 49ers, hasn't been charged with anything, but the 41-year-old was arrested in early April on unrelated drug and weapons charges. He's out on bond for that. He was out on bond 5 days before Pomaski vanished. But I think they feel pretty confident that they found the remains of that person.
Okay.
And finally, this good news: 3 Canadians have gotten permission to use magic mushrooms legally whenever they want.
Whenever they want?
Yeah, psilocybin.
Oh.
Now that's banned in Canada, but these rare exceptions have been made for medical purposes. These people have severe mental health conditions, which they believe psilocybin helps them get over or get through. All right, that's it.
All right.
It's Boner Fight with Radio from Hell on X96.
Okay, number 1 from the 7 o'clock hour, the kind of surprise winner. We got over $500,000 from the feds, so we're going to raise rent on these dumps that you live in. Salt Lake apartment complex, hiking rents anywhere from $100 to $400 after receiving the most federal aid of any other place in Utah, by the way. They got more federal aids, over $500,000. And people say that live there in the apartments there on the west side.
It's barely livable.
Yeah, it's called Downtown West. It's the Downtown West apartments. Going up against number 2, do these people think that nobody records what they say? Marjorie Taylor Greene's recent claim that she and other Republicans are against hate is thoroughly debunked in a bunch of video clips showing her talking about Islamophobia and how she calls AOC and those people the Jihad Squad. She uses all kinds of.
Why didn't you swear in on the Quran?
Yeah, that's.
There's just. I'll play them for you if it wins.
Yeah. So there you go. That's number 2.
Here you go. You've got to decide of these 2 candidates, which one is the worst, which one should be boner of the day. All right? 1 or 2. Remember your candidate number, the one that you think should win. Put that single digit in the message of a text, and then text that to 33986. Hey, we got all of our phone lines back, 877-602-9696. You can call and talk to Katie. Or go online, x96.com. Look for the box that says boner voting, or boner fight, December 15, 2021, boner fight. And refresh your browser if you don't see that box right away. It'll show up. You have until the end of these messages. It's like 240 seconds is all. Let's go. This is Boner of the Day.
How did you woo, or how were you wooed by your current spouse? How did you know they were, quote, the one? Thank you for considering my question.
It was the neoprene bustier. That's how I knew.
You should tell people about them. Don't just say that.
That's how I knew she was the one. It was the it was the neoprene bustier she was wearing. I went, yeah, she's the one. Yeah, that's the one right there.
We were at a live studio audience up at the Einstein's Bagels in Olympus Cove. And she was there with her friends. I have to credit Artie Fufkin, actually.
Really?
Because I sat there and Artie overheard me. I was like, yeah, I want to go and ask her out, but I just. And what was great is that she just didn't care. She was having none of it. She was tired. She was dragged there by her friends. She didn't care. And Artie said, "Well, you know what you do? You pass her a note."
Like in school.
In school. Yeah. That's immediately what I said. What, like in school? He goes, yeah, pass her a note. And I did pass her the note. This is I know this is weird, but if you wouldn't mind, get coffee later.
Check this box.
Yes or no? She still has the note.
Really?
Yeah. And it kind of went from there.
I was single at the time, and Mary Claire, my mother, said, "Well, are you dating anybody?" "No, I'm not dating." "Well, are you? Are you talking to anybody?" And I said, "Well, I've kind of been emailing with this guy from college
for a year."
And she said, "Joe Jones?" She totally plucked his name out of the air, and I said, "How did you know?" And she said, "'Cause he was the best looking guy you went to school with." So Mary Claire knew he was the one before we ever went out on a date. We went out on a date, and we were married 3 months later. It was, I guess you could say, it was a year of wooing via email.
3 months. It took 3 months for his divorce to be final, right?
That's another story.
Let's award Boner of the Day. I'm having all kinds of problems over here.
And it's brought to you in part by leftover, baked, but still delicious ziti.
Do you rebake it to warm it up, or
no? You just, I put it in my new Breville toaster oven.
Oh,
air fryer condenser, shoe shiner.
And save on skiing at Snow Basin Resort with discounts up to $20 on lift tickets when you buy online. Visit snowbasin.com.
And it makes toast. So we had Boner candidate number one. You got over $500,000 from the federal government for rent relief. Salt Lake apartment complex on the west side is called Downtown West. Owned by a company, I believe, I think it's in California. So they got all this money, the apartments are in horrible condition, apparently. And then they told people, well, we're going to raise your rent. Nice, huh? And then Boner candidate number two, do these people think that no one records what they say? Marjorie Taylor Greene spewing hate. I mean, she claimed that there is no hate on the Republican side of the aisle, as the Democrats claim. And then there's a whole bunch of cuts of her saying Islamophobic remarks. Let's see. It was close, but people just don't like slumlords.
Wow.
Really?
Okay.
Boner candidate number one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. You pick them. We don't. That's your Boner of the Day for today, December 15, 2021.
All right.
Now,
do you want an email of interest here?
Sure. Or you want to save it?
You want to save
how
it
much?
for a minute?
How much time do you need?
It's pretty long.
Okay, well then we'll do it in the next break.
I did have a shorter little email here right next to it. It's our good friend Damon Lydiard. Remember him?
Bearded intern.
Yeah.
Yes.
He says, this might be too late. On Wednesday, my wife will be going to the hospital to have our second child, and I need to run some baby names by the committee.
Uh-oh.
So I hope...
This was a scary day to be driving to the hospital to get...
I don't know if it's today. I think
you said Wednesday.
I know, but the email came in on the 12th.
Well, that was a couple days ago.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
It was today.
Oh, it was Sunday. Okay, so it is today.
Yeah.
Okay, Damon, I hope you're listening. For a boy, we're considering August Huntington Lydiard.
Okay.
August.
So we are not cemented 100% on that middle name. It's the one I like most, though. And for a girl, we've got the same name if the first kid had been a girl, whatever. Ivy Bell Lydiard.
I like both of those.
Kid is going to be saddled with the last name Lydiard, so we want to make it easy for them. I guess he has trouble with that name, Lydiard. People have trouble pronouncing it.
Like I worry about Damian Lillard and Matthew Lilliard and Damien. I think anybody with some combination of those is.
It's Lillard. There are
Lydiard.
Lillards and Lydiards.
Yeah.
Damon, our former intern, is a Lydiard.
But the focus is August or Ivy.
I like both
August
of those.
or Ivy. August Lydiard.
Because
Sounds good.
August can be Augie or Gus.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Ivy's easy to spell.
Sweet name, yeah.
I think you're good with both those.
I kind of like Ivy Bell. I think you probably call her Ivy Bell. Ivy Bell, how are you? Yeah, so there you go, Damon. I hope...
it doesn't happen very often that we are 100% in on...
It's a coin toss on that one.
Well, but if you remember, Damien is a young... Excuse me.
See, that's the problem. There's Damian Lillard and Damon Lilliard.
Anyway, he's a young man of some great intelligence and talent and taste.
Well, happy baby. I had Muhammad on a blizzard.
On an ice floe.
On a blizzardy day.
They were out trying to save polar bears. I don't remember.
And people were like, "Oh, I don't know if we're coming to the hospital or not." But my father-in-law in the blizzard said, "I'm coming." And my husband said, "Really, Dad, you don't have to." No, I'm coming.
My last child was born in January, and I don't recall what the weather was like.
Yeah, so Muhammad's birthday's Sunday. So it was much like this and much the same time of...
Yeah, but born in a blizzard, that kid is.
You could do so.
You know what causes that? Ginger ale.
Too much ginger ale?
Too much ginger ale. That's what causes it.
That's what did it. All right, email of interest after the standby. Did you miss the radio?
Well, here I am at 12,887 feet, Tengboche. The Tengboche Monastery is here, and 5.5 hours on the road to Tengboche today. The first part of the walk, I'd say the first 3.5 hours, fairly nice, fairly leisurely. We left Namche, and it was just kind of gentle up and down. And then we crossed the river, what's the name of the river again? Dudakosi River. We crossed the river and had some lunch and then started up. And it was, I'm telling you, it was 2 hours, 2.5 hours, up, unrelenting, up to 12,800 and some odd feet. So it's not a walk in the park. Well, it is a walk in the park. This is the Sagarmatha National Park. Sagarmatha is the name of Everest in Nepal. So anyway, I'm on the trail, and I saw my first yak today. You don't see yak down low. As a matter of fact, if the yak go, I guess, below about 12,000 feet, they will die. They can't go down to where we started. Conversely, there are buffalo down below and cows down below, and they can't come up high, or they will die. And there's a great story about the buffalo and the yak. The yak apparently there's no salt in Nepal, and so the yak decided that they would go to Tibet and find salt for the people of Nepal. And when they got to Tibet was so beautiful, they decided they would just stay. And so the cows, and you'll see the cows and the buffalo always looking up, and they're always looking up wondering when the yak are going to bring the salt back. Does that make sense? Anyway, we passed places that were offering fresh yak cheese. I didn't try it. But I will, and yak milk soon to come. Coming up in just a minute, I'm going to talk more about the trek up here and about the rhododendron forest. We'll talk about that coming up.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I am ready for an email of interest.
So last week, I believe it was, we had a text. We were talking about, does our signal reach Idaho? And I said I thought maybe you could get it in Malad, but I wasn't positive. And then somebody texted and said, "Oh, Malad, I have a really great story about Malad." But that's all they said. And so we said, well, you should.
What is it?
You should tell us the story. We texted back, and this person sent an email. Now, I'm going to leave all of this anonymous, okay?
Okay.
She does mention her name and some other person's name in this, but I'll just change it. Hi, guys. I thought I'd better send this before I walk the dog, because I'll get busy and I'll forget. Okay, so it was back in 72.
Oh.
And I was 16 years old and preggers.
Mm.
My husband-to-be at the time was only 15.
Wow.
It is illegal to get married that young here in Utah, Salt Lake. So after talking our parents into working something out, my father finds out that we can get married up in Preston, Idaho, with a court order. So the day comes, we're going up there, and Bob, not his real name, Bob's parents decide that it would be better for us to all ride together, cheap bastards. So we all pile in my dad's big old blue LTD boat car.
Mm-hmm.
I had to sit in the front, and Bob had to sit in the back with his parents. Bob's dad was Mr. Clean. He was the car dealer, who had to always be perfect in his appearance. And he made our start late because he was grooming. We were supposed to be there at 10. We sail on up there in the boat car, and, of course, we missed the judge by like an hour. The clerk tells us, though, that the judge has gone over now, because it was a circuit judge, I guess. He'd gone over to Malad. And it's a short drive over there, and I can't remember how long that drive was, but the road was more uncomfortable. The ride was more uncomfortable. Excuse me, I skipped something. But I don't know how long. I can't remember how long that drive was, but the road there was over rolling hills. We caught the judge in Malad. Needless to say, the ride home was more uncomfortable than on the way there. Bob and I had two wonderful children. He died in 1982, Bob did, in that's another tragic tale. My children are my life and the most wonderful adults. And yeah, my life was tragic, and I blame Utah. Getting birth control back then was pretty much impossible. And yeah. But I had 2 more children with another guy who left us to go smoke crack. But again, it turned out for the best. I don't like anybody telling me their opinion on raising a child, damn it. I hope you see the humor in that ride to Preston and then to Malad. It makes me ROFL. Have a wonderful day. I love listening to you while I walk the dog. I have another funny story. I'll save that for later.
Well.
Pretty interesting story, though.
I can't fathom the 16 and 15.
Yeah, I'm stuck on that. Yeah.
I just...
Oh, really?
I can't.
No, as a parent, I have a 15-year-old daughter, soon to be 16. And if we found ourselves in this situation, I can't in any universe imagine that the solution is
go to Idaho.
Go to Idaho and have a judge sign off on.
That's the part.
I thought you meant you couldn't fathom that a 15 and a 16.
No, not that. Just that is the decision was made that that's the best course of action here. I just can't even.
Let's drive to Idaho.
Yeah. I think it's interesting, though, that they were so young, and yet they stayed together. They had children, and apparently it appears, just reading between the lines, she really loved him. And
I know it does work out for people. I'm just talking as like a parent of a child that age. I can't imagine that we all get together and go, okay, I guess what we're doing is this.
Well, what we're gonna do.
I can't imagine that.
I understand that. I was just adding on to the fact that I think it's nice that
for sure.
They ended up apparently having
a
wonderful relationship. And then it's interesting, too, that she made a bad choice the second time, apparently. But anyway, thanks for that. And send us the other story. I assume it's the story... well, I don't know. It's the story of he died in 1982. That's another tragic tale. I'd like to hear that story too.
And does it involve Idaho in any way?
Yeah. Well, anyway, thank you for that. And that's obviously somebody who's been listening to us for a long time. She included her phone number.
Oh my!
I'll call her.
Corey wants to know if a shotgun was provided and who provided it.
It just sounds like this is all just. They were, they all rode up together in the car. They must have all been sort of okay with.
Wouldn't that be awful, though, that they had to sit all, crammed together. She said, I had to sit in the front seat and John sat in the back with his parents. You should let them sit together if they're going up to Malad to get married.
Not until they're married.
I thought she married Bob.
Oh.
Huh? Oh, yeah. Bob. It's Bob. His name is Bob. I'm sorry. Okay. It doesn't matter that much, I guess.
All right. Well, let's record the promo and crawl towards the exits.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Ready?
Yep.
Coming up on Thursday's Radio from Hell show.
Well, Carrie will have the latest in geek news for us at 6:45, the very latest, hot off the presses, followed by Beat Gina at 7 a.m.
And our phones are working. Yay! So whoever dares challenge me could win a Radio from Hell coffee mug.
And thanks to management for getting our phones working. Plus, at 7:45, Mayor Mendenhall is back with our Salt Lake City update. And Bob Pickle, that's Robert Gerke to you, joins us at 8:45.
It's all happening on Thursday's Radio from Hell show on X96. Okay.
God, what a day. What a day. Stuck in the driveway like that. And now I don't know what I'm going to do when I go home. There's probably no place to park. I'm afeared of pulling into the driveway. So I got to shovel it out a bit. And
I can't make it up the hill unless the snowplows come.
Yeah. What car do you have?
Got my Mini.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty good in the snow, isn't it?
Not going up.
Yeah, up. You're probably cleared off by now.
No plows yet. No.
He's in touch with the plow people, Actually, his wife is.
No, you can follow that slc.gov has a plow map that you can see where the plows are and
do what? I mean, why do you want to see where they are? I guess if you're planning on going somewhere, you could sort of check But it doesn't show what they've plowed. It just shows where they are.
No, I think it shows the plan. It shows the plowing plan.
Oh, well, didn't say that. That's an entirely different thing.
I agree.
All right. I think we're good. All business, Katie? We good? Live long and prosper, bitches.
Don't you know who I am?
That's an entirely different thing.
Fine job to everybody.
Yeah, and thanks to the people who were coming to my rescue when I was stuck in the driveway. The guy from Iconoclad, Ivy's husband, and, of course, Brad Wheeler.
Tim the tree guy.
And Tim the tree guy.
Mm-hmm.